watching IntoWineTV, and we're filming at Crushpad in Napa, and we're tasting the 2007 Cult Vines Cabernet Sauvignon. And this wine is retailing online for $125 a bottle, and it's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa. What do you think, Loren?
I think this is an excellent wine. This is a style of Cabernet. It's big, it's heavily oaked, it really needs to, again, lay down for a while. It's got lots of fruit. It's all Tokalan fruit, which is obviously one of the great vineyards. And in Napa, it's a delicious wine. I have a huge problem with paying that kind of money for a bottle like this. But if somebody wanted to open it for me anytime, I would really enjoy it, especially if it was about 5 or 10 years from now. I think it's a delicious wine. It's well made. It's got great fruit. Seems to have all the stuffing. I'd be happier if it was around $50 or $60. But
when a winemaker or whoever supplied this wine says, personally, I think this is one of the best wines you can buy today, period, and then goes on to say, I know you will absolutely love this wine, and then offers a wine of 15% alcohol at $125 a bottle. And I think he's not doing his homework on who's tasting these wines for today, because right off the bat I want to hate this wine. But let's see. The colour's actually good. It's good colour, and the nose is not bad. It's relatively subdued fruit, but it's very spirity. And on the palate, it's elegant, but it's very simple. You know, for me, would I pay more than $50? No. Would I pay $25? Maybe. $125 is just out of the ballpark. It's ridiculous for this wine, for any young wine, really, unless it's got the pedigree of Chateau Lafite or something. Mm-hmm. But I think this is a bit of a joke.
Well, I think, there is some, the wines come from a vineyard that was Robert Parker ranked as a very high score. So I think there's a cult
some wines
following
from that vineyard will have high scores from Parker. Doesn't necessarily mean this one would. It might, but might not.
But do you think maybe that would kind of create a following amongst people who are seeking that style?
There is a market definitely for in the over $100 California cabs, especially the 2007 vintage. There's a lot of new producers, Scarecrow and Capshandy and wines like that. There's a lot of old producers, Spotswood and the Mondavi's wines that are making great wines. Whether or not they're worth it or not is another matter. I think some of them might be, but I think he's trying to, through price, put himself into competition in that market and play in that market. It might be a better idea than trying to price it at $75, which is a really tough sell for a wine now. At least, at the 125 level, he identifies as a very small subsection of people who would pay that much for a bottle of wine, and says, give me a chance and try it and see how it compares.
Yeah, I mean, he's only making 50 cases. Maybe he's got 50 rich friends who'll buy this off him at that price. Who knows? Just to be nice. But I do object to new wineries that come out straight out of the tasting. First vintage, second vintage, third vintage at $100 a bottle. I think there's no real place for those wines, and actually the economy has really made it tough for people like that. What's interesting is in the auction market, California wines, cult wines from California, with the exception of maybe something like Screaming Eagle or one or two exceptions, but most of the cult wines from California are not sustaining their price in auctions, because the Asian market now, Hong Kong is the biggest auction market in the world right now, and the Asians are actually all buying French wines and not buying California wines. So it's a really tough market for them, and I think that this is an ego trip for someone.
Well, even the Bordeaux wines, it's not Bordeaux. It's 10 wines that the Asian market is going after, maybe 15 wines, and maybe Scarecrow and Screaming Eagle, just a couple California wines.
Scarecrow.
Yeah, that seems to be the hot one now that is holding its value in the auction market. Yeah, it's can, double, triple that's release price. So maybe he's hoping to catch lightning in bottle. It still comes down to, this is, I think, a really good quality wine. So pricing aside, I think he's made a great wine, or a very good wine, and he's made a wine that people who like this style of big oak-driven California cabs are going to like. And then somebody else just has to decide, is it worth it to them to pay, for some people $125 a bottle is, no big deal. For me, it certainly is, and would keep me from buying it. But.
Right, so we don't want to overshadow. This is a great bottle of wine.
I think it's a good wine. I don't think it's a great wine.
Well, perhaps, he's looking for an exclusive cult following and, a group of individuals who don't mind paying $125 a bottle. Or, if you want to kind of make a statement with a gift or present something that's at a higher value, this might be a nice option. But you'll have to try it for yourself and let us know what you think. And let us know if the cult vines are a cult worth following. Again, it's the 2007 Cabernet Sauvignon. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Into Wine.